SipWithStylez with SipWithStylez podcast. I'm here today interviewing all the artists, all the backup staff, and honestly, I'm just the face in front of the camera to give you guys a bit of energy. Follow me at Styles So Real on Instagram. Welcome back. I'm Styles from SipWithStylez, and here today we have the beautiful, lovely Taste of Music. What would you guys call yourself? Conveners? No.
Curators.
Curate. Good word.
Yeah. Found hers.
Found hers.
Like
Trademark.
Yeah.
I love that for you guys.
It's in my email signature.
Actually,
It actually is.
you got to email me later. I have to see that. So let's start on the basic journey of why we're all here and how the Taste of Music came to be. So I don't know who wants to open up the floor, but I'll allow you to go and describe a little bit of how it came to be.
So I guess walking through the journey of how it came to be. So for me, it's kind of a quirky story because I love looking for events, looking for unique ways to engage in content. And I recall scrolling on TikTok and I saw this thing called taste film. So I was like, what's taste film? Because one, I love films and I love to eat. So I said, that sounds perfect. And when I was looking for it, basically the concept is you watch a movie and they pull out a menu that is in alignment with the film. So I'm here looking and I'm like, oh, it's only in London. Is there any in Canada? Is there any in Toronto? And just a blank, blank, blank. So, you know, Danita has been someone that I've worked with and collaborated with in so many different instances. And we've always been looking for a reason to work together. And it was at a point, I think it was last year around February, and we're just like, you know what? Like, let's be accountability partners. I brought this idea to her. I'm like, what if we took this concept, flipped it, made it about music, make it, I don't know, something taste music, which honestly, the idea and the title was not too far from the idea itself. We didn't have to think too hard. So, you know, I was like, okay, like we can have artists and then we can have a menu that works. And I feel like it's gone through so many iterations, but not to get too deep in there, she jumped on and we were just like, yeah, let's do it. And that was the beginning of Taste of Music, which started like this and now it's something completely different.
Yeah, no, it's exciting. When she brought the idea to me, I was like, okay, this is different. Haven't seen anything like this in Toronto. I'm tired of kind of seeing the same things, and I personally want to experience a new type of event. So I was like, yeah, music, we're going to have food. Also, love the combination. And then also, I was like, let's have a live band. Because I like live bands, you know, a little bit of extra oomph to a performance. So like, let's combine all of those things together. So once that started, it kind of, we kind of just went ham and things grew a lot.
I think one of the things that was really interesting is it started with taste music, so music, but then you came up with a really good idea, which was ignite the senses. So I think that's the unique thing with Taste of Music too, is we're like, it's a sensory experience, not just visual or auditory.
Yeah. Well, like based on like the descriptions and as we were speaking about it, when you say ignite the senses, I feel like that's the goal of the festival rather than fitting for the name. You know what I mean? Because it's like we got here on Tom Taste of Music, but that's what you guys want to do is ignite the senses. So Shantae, can you tell us how the event can nurture the city's talents, bring the community together, and just create that environment that you guys were looking for?
Absolutely. So even when we were thinking about the execution, we knew that we wanted it to be different. So I feel like this event and this concept can nurture the art of Toronto because what we're doing is a little bit different. We're nurturing the art. Oftentimes in the city, it's kind of about, you know, clout or getting to that destination. And for me, a journey of navigating entertainment and the local art industry, they've been very separate. So I think that this event is going to serve as very impactful solely because it's allowing creatives to be creatives. And it's also allowing creativity to coexist in multiple ways. So as you will see and as you will experience if you do attend is, you know, we have a chef. There's creativity in that. We have there's creativity in interviewing. There's creativity in our photography. Everything is a means of showcasing your art and working together. And I feel like, if anything, that's what we want the Toronto scene to become, is collaboration and growth.
Yeah, working with one another, not against one another. Exactly. Mm-hmm. T, let's ask you, how do you feel that the festival can open the door for not just new creatives, but up and coming creatives who maybe don't have a home?
Yeah, well, it definitely gives them the opportunity to showcase their talents and who they are. For the ones that are upcoming, we feel like if we keep on doing this Taste of Music, and when it does become a success, it will encourage other creators to take the opportunity to be like, like this is something I really want to do, and continuously grow and have new experiences, meet new people, so that they can continuously make a name for themselves in Toronto.
What about when these two lovely ladies brought the idea to you? What got you and said, you know what, I'm in?
It was definitely their energy. They were very, very passionate about it. It was them creating a visual and a vibe for me. I'm all about like vibes and creating a beautiful atmosphere, and I feel like Tasty Music brings that because of the vibe. Looking for the kind of '90s kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but it's kind of like a nostalgic vibe. And as me being someone who's in media and anything, I like to capture the vibe, and I feel like that's what they're trying to do for
City, and it's dope. Now, Danita, let's talk about how, because like Shantae said, we have so many different incorporations with the food, the artists, myself, Levi. How is it you feel that the creative process can also affect how we interact with one another as creatives?
It's a great question, because the three things that we focused on, our three pillars, was creativity, it was community, and it was collaboration. So where the creativity came into play was all the artists that were involved. It was not that we're just inviting you to perform, show up on the day, and that was it. We wanted you to feel like this was your concert. So it's not necessarily just like a showcase. This is a concert series. We specifically chose these three artists to put on a show for us, show us their art, let us know who they are. And through that, you have autonomy over your art, and you're able to show us how you want to put on a show. Like if the stage looks different for every performance, I think that's how it should be, because each artist is different, right? So that was one of the things in terms of creativity, collaboration, just in the sense of we're working together. You're not doing this for us. We're not just doing this for you. It's for everybody to have a different experience than maybe what they've experienced before with other showcases, or just in general in Toronto, that we're working together. And this is going to be something not only for the curators, for the artists, but for the audience as well. In terms of, what was the last one? It was
Collaboration.
Community. What I'd say there, for me personally, I wanted us to have moments like this where we're having an awesome marketing day, where we're having photo shoots in the next room, interviews there, tastings over here. And it's like we all come together. We've met each other now. We've experienced each other's energy. And now going into the show, it feels warmer. It feels more familiar. It feels like, okay, we can go into this and we feel comfortable and just do what we do best, right? So I thought we thought with all this together, it would create such a magical moment for the audience to experience, and it's very authentic, and it's beautiful. So yeah, I think that's really how we wanted to do this. And I'll say, having the podcast portion of this adds such a lovely element, simply because I get to know who this artist is. We're also thinking of adding a playlist. Not thinking, we are adding a playlist.
We can't drop all the hints, but
a little some. But get to know who these guys are. And then when you're listening to them live, it's a vibe. It's like, I took you in, I know who you are, I heard you speak, and yeah, I like this.
Yeah, and I like that you guys did the interview element, because like you said, you do get to learn the artist, but not only that, you get to learn the people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That you're collaborating with. You get to learn the people that you're speaking with and seeing on stage. So they don't go from the artist, they go to the person who is an artist. You know what I mean? And I think it's such a beautiful feeling to be a part of. And what would you guys say is the dream of the show? We're gonna tie in back into a couple things, but because we're on this high and this energy, I want you guys to take that and tell us all individually, what are your dreams for the show? Because I know you all have separate individual dreams for the show.
I can jump in just to piggyback off of what Danita said, though, because something about that whole little speech just kind of sparked something in me, and it made me realize, like, the dream for this show is not even the show itself, it's the ecosystem that we're creating. It's the output. So as you mentioned, there are three pillars: the creativity, the collaboration, the community. Yes. It's like we are creating something that creates a space. And I feel like with COVID too, like one of the things that we did notice in our multiple grant submissions was the fact that there is no community right now. So seeing this, hearing this, and now being in the space where we finally got to this day, like this is the community. And if that's something that we could do in different outputs, whether it be, you know, a concert series or a podcast series or a playlist community, like there are so many ways that we could curate that. And I think that would be the vision and the hope for me.
Yeah, for me, I'm thinking big, bigger, biggest in terms of taste of music. Not only Taste of Music Toronto, maybe Taste of Music Edmonton, because our chef is from Edmonton, and sharing that experience with them. Taste of Music Montreal, you know, and so on and so forth, letting it be not only a national thing, but eventually be an international thing, and just different ways that we can add to this and create a different experience for everyone involved. So that would be like the vision.
What about you?
I feel like the dream of the show for me would be just seeing all the hard work that we put into come to life, and seeing the creation process actually in the works. Like we're working so hard just for this to come live, and just to see it all come together and the vision that these ladies have created come together. I also feel like what Danita said is having this be a regular thing of Taste of Music in the summertime, having a live band in a really big park, and having it go international as well.
Yeah. So now, because you guys speak so heavily on the ecosystem and the unity and community, how did you guys come about selecting everybody for A, the show, and B, their roles?
That was a fun journey.
Yeah.
That was a fun journey. It started with us, and I feel like we had, you know, partnering up with Danita was the best thing ever, because I feel like we both have a very strong network, and we know what looks good. We know what we want to see. Two strong Black women, so you know. And I think one of the things, not to get into too much detail, is what was important for us in picking people is making sure that the energy matched. Yeah. I think often that was something that we came back to is, are they for this? Or does it seem like we're doing this for them, or it's an exchange? Like it really had to be like, it was like speed dating.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, like contacting people and like, did they see our vision? Did they, were they, you know, quick with responses, or was it like a dragging a feet situation? You know, we wanted people to feel excited just as much as we felt excited about it. And it was a lot of trial and error, but it was good. And I felt like it was worth it for you to find the right people that understand what you're trying to do and where you're trying to go. So another portion of it was coming from an event coordinating background in school. Like, why not bring people from school that maybe just graduated or in a college program for special events or anything that's kind of close to it that wants to be a part of this? You know, that's that young, fresh, hungry energy that we need and sometimes need a reminder of as well, of like, you know, when you're first getting into something. So
Why you love it.
Yeah.
Remembering why you love what you love.
Exactly. Yeah. So to me, it was like perfect. Yeah. You know, like how that aligned and everything. So, yeah, that's one aspect I'll say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think as we finish off here, I think I'm going to give you guys the flowers you definitely deserve, not only as independent women, but to come together and bring something like this to life. So what I'm going to let you guys do is you tell the people when the show is, and that tickets will be on sale soon.
Yes. How do you want to do it? Description, call out. What do you want to do? What do you want to do?
Oh, you say one question, I'll say one question. Okay.
Taste of Music is a sensory experience
happening on Saturday, February 24th, 2024.
And do we got tickets available yet?
No, we don't, but they will be in January, yes.
In January.
And you guys want to make sure you're following Taste of Music TO on Instagram.